A very good evening, everyone. Welcome to IAS with Arihant. Student, as you know, ki every day at 9 p.m. we are discussing about Indian polity. I hope I'm audible as well as visible to you. And sorry for this gap. I was not in city, so that's why I was not able to take classes. So as you know, the polity is one of the most important portion, and this session is called as Prelims Possible, and this is based on a book that is specially published by Arihant, and the series is called as Prelims Possible. Students contain a very detailed explanation for each and every question. So we are going to start the today means in the last class we started with the 16th chapter, okay, the state executive, and then we will continue from the point where we left with. Okay, so let's begin the session without wasting time, guys. Okay, so as we already discussed, this session is based on a book, and there are lots of basically specification that this book contain. Okay, so what you see, students, this book is divided into chapters, and that chapter is divided into topic, and there's a topic based MCQs, and students, there's a previous year question paper, and students, there's a very unique mind map for each and every topic that will help you for the quick revision as well as for the, let's suppose you're studying the concept for the first time, then it is also going to be beneficial for you. It is 100% error free, and there's a very great explanation for each and every question. There's knowledge plus for the typical question and 3500 PYQ bullets in the last of this basically in the book, students. Okay, so what you see here, we started with the state executive, and we already discussed the state executive. It is basically the part of the state portion. So state is mentioned in part 5 of the Indian Constitution, and there will be article 152 to 137. Okay, and students, once again this state is divided into three parts. One is the union executive, the state executive, state legislature, and state judiciary. So state executive, if you talk about, basically it is very important to understand. This state executive is consist of the governor of the state. Along with that, there will be the council of minister and chief minister, and advocate general of the state will be the part of the state executive, students. So we will start with the first governor of the state, students, and we already discussed about this mind map, but once again I will give a quick outline for the same. As I told you, students, the governor position is just like president. Governor position is just like president, but there is a condition. President is elected, okay, governor is appointed. Okay, president has fixed tenure for 5 years. He has no tenure. Why? Because he is functioning under the pleasure of the President of India, students. After that, as president is the head of the country, he is the head of the state, students. All the executive function will be done on the state governor, student, on the name of the state governor. There are some constitutional provision, like article 153 is mentioning about there shall be governor for each and every state, but by there was a 7th Constitutional Amendment Act 1956. There is a modification. A single governor can be appointed as governor for more than one state. Then we have article 154 that is mentioning about executive power of the state, students. Then article 155, appointment of governor. Article 156 is basically term of office of president. Article 157, eligibility and basically appointment of governor. Very important article, and this is also very important. Article 155 is mentioning about appointment of governor. Article 157 is eligibility for the appointment of the governor. Article 158 for the condition for office of the governor. Very important, because previously it was asked by the examination. Article 159 is about the oath and affirmation of the governor, and now there is a question, who subscribed the oath of the governor, students. So basically the Chief Justice of High Court is going to subscribe the oath of the governor of a state, students. In the same format, article 176 is basically special address to the legislative assembly. Who can be the governor of a state, students? So the person who completed the 35 year of age, and he must be the citizen of India, and must not hold any office of profit under the government of India or the state, and qualified to be an elected member of state legislative assembly. As I told you, it is not compulsory he must be the part of this, but yes, he must be qualified to be the part of the state legislative assembly students. In the same format, if you move further, what you find, the appointment is basically by the president on the recommendation of Central Council of Ministers. Basically, the governor is a connecting link. He is a bridge between the state and center. So that's why it is appointed by the President of India on the recommendation of Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. One very important thing, there's lots of argument by the different committees ki we must elect the governor as president is elected. So if a governor is going to be elected, then he or she is going to create a conflict because his tenure is going to be fixed, and he is not going to follow the direction given by the union, or maybe there is a political conflict between the state chief minister and the basically the governor students. That's why it is not done. So we already discussed about the term of office of the governor. Okay, he function up to the pleasure of the president. All the executive action is taken on the name of the governor of the state students. Judicial power he has under Article 161 of the Indian Constitution. He can give pardon and all. And students legislative power he has till the time governor is not going to give assent to a bill. That bill is not going to be converted as an act. So approximately 30 questions we already completed from this topic. So just take the last class, and we are moving further, okay, from the 31st question. Read it very carefully and see, students, questions are very easy. Now consider the following statement. This was in UPSC year 2018. So no criminal proceeding, just see it, no criminal proceeding shall be instituted against the governor of a state in any court during his term of office. No criminal proceeding. So we all know basically the president and governor of a state under Article 361 of the Indian Constitution, they have immunity. What type of immunity they have? For the criminal activity what they did during the office period, he or she is not going to be charged. They are not going to be arrested till the time they are in office. But let's suppose it is a matter of civil case. So 2 month prior notice can be given, but they already given it is a matter of criminal. So criminal proceedings shall be instituted against the governor of a state and any court his time or his term of office. So no criminal proceeding is possible. So statement 1 is correct. Now statement 2, what it says, the emoluments and allowance of the governor of a state shall not be diminished during his term of office. So it must not be reduced till the time he or she is a basically governor of a state. So if a person is appointed as governor, basically his salary or her salary is not going to be reduced. So it is the part of the condition of office of governor student. So anyone who is appointed as a governor, his salary is not going to be reduced. So this is basically the part of Article 158, as it is basically for the condition of governor office. Okay, so what you find, students, now which of the following statement is correct? If you see, both statement is correct. So now let's see the explanation. That is it is the beauty of this of session, students. Along with that, it is the beauty of this book. So both the statement 1 and 2 are correct. Article 361 deals with the protection of president and governor. There it says that no criminal proceeding shall be instituted or continued against the president or governor of a state in any court of during his term of office. As well as we already discussed, Article 158 of Indian Constitution is mentioning about the condition of governor's office. So it is mentioned that a person who is governor, his salary, his emolument, his allowance is not going to be reduced during the time period of the appointment, students. Okay, means from the date of appointment what was committed, he will get that only. Okay, so it is for the basically there is a Governor Emoluments, Allowance and Privilege Act 1982. It is mentioning in the same provision, students. Now see the question number 32. Under the constitutional provision on bill, a recommendation of governor was required, but without recommendation of governor, it was introduced in Rajasthan Legislative Assembly and passed by it and sent to the governor. Now, student, this was means it is a case also in 2018. Now just read it. Under constitutional provision on bill, recommendation of governor was required, but without recommendation of governor, it was introduced in Rajasthan Legislative Assembly and passed by it and sent to the governor. Now, which of the following means what he can do? Where assent or to act was given by governor shall not be invalid. The governor can refuse to assent on the ground of violation of constitutional provision. Governor will send such bill to assent to the president, and governor or the president assent it, then court will declare this unconstitutional provision, students. So basically what you find, students, where assent to act was given by governor shall not be invalid. Okay, so if it is already there, then it is not going to be invalid, students. So the same explanation is here what this statement is mentioning. Now see, this question was in Chhattisgarh PSC year 2020. Who recommends to the governor the principle which should govern the distribution between the state and the panchayat of the net proceeding of taxes and fee basically leviable by the state, which may be divided between them. So as we all know, students, कि we have a central government. So central government has a finance commission, and what finance commission do? It is basically distributing the net income or basically income taxes earned by state, the center, into the state as well as between the means among the states as well as the union. Now in the same format, students, state government also sharing power. So now initially there was only legislative assembly, but now we know there is a panchayat also. So panchayat is a very basic unit where development is needed. So state government create means a state finance commission, and they are distributing fund for the legislative assembly, or you can say between the panchayat and the state term, students. And it is mentioned under article 243I of the Indian Constitution, students. So state finance commission will be the direct and very right answer for the same, students. Now we are moving further. The state finance commission recommends to the governor the principles which should govern the distribution between the state and the panchayat of the net proceeding of the taxes, fees, basically leviable by the state, and which will be going to be divided among them. Okay, so state finance commission is mentioned in article 243 clause I of Indian Constitution, and as center created for 5 years, in the same format state also created it for the 5 years, students. Now see the another question. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and other is labeled as reason. Assertion and reason. Assertion says that president or a governor cannot be sued in court of law for any act. Okay, president can be impeached and governor may be diminished for unconstitutional act done, and you have to choose the correct answer from the code given below. So students, we all know by article 361 of Indian Constitution, president plus governor, they have immunity. Okay, immunity for what work they did, what the decision they took during the time period as a governor or as a president. So they will not answerable in any court of law for that act. Okay, along with that, students, let's suppose they did some criminal activity. So during the time till the time they are on the post, in that time period they are not going to be charged. but once they leave the post, then this process is going to be started. Criminal proceeding can be started, but it is only with the recommendation of with two months earlier, or you can say the prior notice. And if you see students, it says that cannot be sued. So it means that under the criminal cases, under the civil cases, he can be sued. So assertion is going to be false. Now see, President can be impeached. We all know Article 61 of the Indian Constitution mentioning about the procedure of impeachment. And governor may be diminished for unconstitutional act done. The governor may be dismissed for unconstitutional act done. So he can be dismissed, and dismissed by whom? By the president. But there is no official procedure that you have to do it. You have to just simply remove that person and you can appoint any other person. So if you see the reason, explanation is okay, but this assertion is wrong. So A is false and reason is true. So president or governor of a state shall not be answerable in any court of law for exercise and performance of the power and duties of his office for act done or purporting to be done by him in the exercise and performance of those power and duty. Civil proceeding against a governor or president over action that he has done in his personal capacity can only be carried out with the prior notice of the 2 months, and the president may be removed through impeachment for violation of the Indian Constitution. Governor is going to be dismissed. So statement B means statement or reason is going to be correct for the same. Now see the question number 35. It was in UPSC pre 2019, and students, these are the just fact type of data you can say, because sometime you will see this data in match the following type of question. So which of the following suggested that governor should be an eminent person from outside of the state and should be detached figure without intense political link, or should not have taken part in politics in the recent past? So students, there are different type of committee was created, like there was a ARC report 1996, okay, Raj Mannar Committee 1969, Sarkaria Commission 1983, National Commission to Review Working of the Constitution in year 2000. Now students, what you find? If you see, basically a very important commission that was created in 1983, Sarkaria Commission, students. And basically the Sarkaria Commission recommended that a governor should be an eminent person from outside of the state. Means, as we know, a governor can be appointed to any state. Okay, so there is no specific criteria ki, let's suppose I am belonging to Uttar Pradesh, I have some political career in Uttar Pradesh, so I can't be appointed as the governor of UP. I can be appointed as, it is not basically controlled by the constitution. It is just a convention. If a person has some political background in the state, then don't include that person. Okay, and should be detached figure without intense politics link, and should not have taken part in the politics of the recent days. So this was mentioned by the Sarkaria Commission. Directly I am mentioning you here. And see, there is a knowledge plus, most important recommendation of the Sarkaria Commission to establishment a permanent interstate council that will be known as Intergovernmental Council, students. Okay, now we have 36th question. This was in Nagaland PSC 2012. Article 154 state that governor can exercise his executive authority either directly or through officers subordinate to him. The words officers subordinate include. So students, we all know that Article 154 is about the executive power of governor. So how he will function? So there will be the lower subordinate body, and what information he required they will provide, as well as on that recommendation he is going to perform his duty and act. So what you see, students, now it says that the subordinates include whom? all the minister and chief minister of the state, all the minister except the chief minister, only the chief minister and the deputy chief minister, only the cabinet minister. So we all know governor is the head of the state, and all other power like council of minister plus chief minister, they will be under the control of the governor constitutionally. But yes, as we all know, the chief minister has more power, but governor also has lots of power. So what you see, students, all the minister and the chief minister of a state is a part of the subordinate of the governor of a state, students. So Article 154 states that executive power of the state shall be vested in the governor and shall be exercised by him either directly or through subordinate to him in accordance with the constitution. The word subordinate includes chief minister as well as all other minister. Now see the another question. It was in UP lower 2004 as well as Chhattisgarh PSC 2015. Under which article of the Indian Constitution governor may reserve a bill for the consideration of the President of India? So students, recently this case was in Tamil Nadu, this case was in Kerala. Okay, they reached to the Supreme Court because governor reserve bill for the president recommendation, and this power is mentioned under Article 200 of the Indian Constitution. Students, this is just a direct answer question, so that's why I am telling you. So there is a 4 condition, 4 option with regard to the bill. If governor receive a bill after passing from the legislative assembly, so he can give assent to it, he can withhold the assent, he can reserve bill for the president reconsideration, and it is under Article 200. And once he reserve a bill for the president reconsideration, his role is going to be ended. Okay, now what president want to do, she will or he will do, students. Okay, getting it? Easy. So this is one thing. After that, students, he returned the bill to the legislature for the reconsideration if he want. So these all condition is there. He can reserve a bill for the president consideration, students. Now we have question number 38. Under which article the governor has power to promulgate ordinance during recess of legislature? So as we all know, basically President of India also has power to create, or you can say issue, ordinance. So he or she can issue ordinance in case of no session. So if parliamentary session is not there, so under the power of the parliament, he or she can, means president can issue ordinance, but the issue the life of the ordinance will be 6 weeks or 6 months. It will be 6 weeks or 6 months. Another very important thing, students, the President of India, okay, issue this basically this ordinance by an article 123 of the Indian Constitution. In the same format, students, governor of the state also has same power to issue ordinance, but there is a condition. Okay, love you too, students. Okay, so he also can issue ordinance, but there is a condition: this legislature, the state legislature, must not be in session. And let's suppose he issued, it is the only condition. If it is not in session and it is very necessary, very emergency condition is there, then only he can issue ordinance. And by Article 213 of the Indian Constitution, he issues the ordinance for the state, students. Getting it? So this is also very, very important. Okay, so by Article 213 of the, means I told you 13 only, so he can issue ordinance, but there should be a recommendation of the state cabinet. Okay, I hope it is okay. Now see the question number 39. It was in MPPSC pre 2012. Under which situation can governor promulgate an ordinance? What is the condition when governor can create an ordinance? When the state legislature is not in session in order to meet an emergency required immediate action. So ordinance can be issued by Article 213 for the governor of state, even when state legislature in session in order to meet emergency required immediate action. So governor can issue ordinance. There's whenever he so desire, and the President of India direct him to do so. So students, constitution defining it very clearly. President as well as the governor of state, they can only issue ordinance when the session is not there. Okay, so only statement 1 is correct and all is going to be incorrect for the same. So Article 213 clause 1, only when a state legislature is not in session in order to meet an emergency with required immediate action, basically the governor can issue ordinance, but there should be a recommendation advised by the Chief Minister and Council of Minister of the state students. Now, once again, this question was in MPPSC year 2014. Okay, notwithstanding, okay, we will do this question later because there is some misprinting, so we will do it later. Now see the question number 41. A bill of a state legislature became an act when? A bill of a state legislature became act when? So we all know, let's suppose it is union legislature. They passed a bill. This bill can be act only when president give his assent. But if it is about the state legislature, so this can be act only when speaker give assent on this, governor of state sign on it, the chief minister or sign on it, or the departmental minister sign on it. So what you find, students, the governor of a state is going to be the authority, is going to be the supreme authority in the state till he is not going to pass a bill. In that case, students, that bill is never going to be an act. I hope you got it. So this is also very important, just understand it. Okay, so a bill of a state legislature became act when the governor of a state gives sign to it. Once governor reserve a bill, he can sign it, basically veto it or do nothing. Okay everyone, so this is simple, this is important, and just remember it. Now see the next question. It was in MPPSC 2022. Who is included in the committee to recommend the name for appointment of a chairperson and member of State Human Rights Commission? So students, State Human Rights Commission, there was an act, parliamentary act, it was created, and students, who is going to recommend the name of member as well as the chairperson of the State Human Rights Commission, students. So just opt the right answer for the same, as it is already mentioned, students. So it is governor, it is speaker of legislative assembly, leader of opposition, or the chief minister of the chief justice of high court. What you find, students, basically there is a committee, and that committee is basically consist of, if you see, there is a chief minister and he will be the head of the same committee. Then there will be speaker of the legislative assembly, opposition leader, as well as minister of state home affairs. So state home minister will be the part of the same, state home minister. So what you see, they will be the part of this committee, and they will recommend the name, and basically this appointment is done by the governor of a state, student. So governor has power to appoint a chairperson and a member of a State Human Rights Commission. It was in MPPSC recent paper 2022, so this is going to be also important. So this chairperson and member of a State Human Rights Commission appointed by the governor on the recommendation of committee included or consisting of chief minister, the speaker of legislative assembly, the state home minister, and the leader of opposition in the legislative assembly. Okay everyone, easy. Now see the question number 43. The state chief election commissioner is appointed by state chief election commissioner. So what he do? He is basically conducting election for the panchayat. as well as local body. Okay, so he is conducting election for the panchayat or municipalities, and he is appointed by basically the governor of the state students. As president appointing election commissioner for the nation under our constitution, he is also appointed by the same way. Okay everyone, but by governor. Okay, so explanation is consisting same what I told you. Okay everyone, now this question was in UPPCS 2014 as well as IAS pre 2014. See, which of the following are discretionary power given to the governor of a state? Okay, sending a report to President of India for imposing the president rule. Okay, it is discretionary power, means he has freedom to do. Okay, so sending a report to President of India for imposing the president rule, appointment of a minister, so he can appoint any minister, reserving certain bill passed by the state legislature for consideration of the President of India, so he can reserve any bill for the president reconsideration. Okay, making rule of conduct in the business of the state government. Now students, we all know he can reserve, basically he can send recommendation to the president for the imposition of president rule under article 356 of the Indian Constitution. He is not appointing minister discretionary. He is basically, ministers are appointed after the recommendation of the chief minister of the state. So this is incorrect, and he can reserve a bill for the president reconsideration. So statement 1 and 3 is correct till the time. Making rule of conduct the businesses of the state government. So what you find, students, basically this is statement 1 and statement 3 is correct, and all are other are incorrect. So 1 and 3 is going to be correct for the same students. Okay everyone, easy. So this is one point. So article 163 of Indian Constitution outlines the governor role, stating that they must act with the advice of the Council of Ministers except matter requiring their discretionary power. So 356 is for the state emergency, and means governor can reserve a bill for the president reconsideration. Now see, this question was in Nagaland. Emergency in a state can be imposed by president on recommendation of governor under. Emergency in a state can be imposed by president on the recommendation of governor under. So we all know article 356 is for the state emergency, article 360 for the financial emergency, article 360 also for the state emergency, students. So emergency in a state can be imposed by president on the recommendation of governor, and it is included under article 356 of Indian Constitution. 365 is, let's suppose state is not following the duty, if they are not doing proper management, then emergency can be imposed. Okay everyone, now the same thing is here also. Article 356 of the Constitution of India is mentioning about the state emergency. Okay everyone, now see the next question. Question number 46. If a minister of a state decide to resign from the membership of state legislative assembly, he should submit his resignation to whom? Now students, you have to read question very carefully. Minister of state means he is the part of a cabinet. So he will give a resignation to whom? To speaker, to chief minister, election commissioner, or governor. It was in Mizoram PSC, and this type of question is in the multiple examination. So it is basically, if he is a minister, he will give resignation to the governor. Okay, so this is very important. And let's suppose he don't want to resign, then governor can remove him from the office. Okay, on the advice of the chief minister. Now see the question number 47. According to which article governor appoints Anglo-Indian community representative in the Vidhan Sabha? Student, there was one Anglo-Indian can be appointed as in the legislative assembly of the state under article 333. But now students, as there was 104th Constitutional Amendment Act 2019, 20 is basically there. So at that time it is mentioned that no Anglo-Indian is going to be appointed in the legislative assembly as well as in the parliament. Okay, parliament means that in the Lok Sabha. Okay, so initially it was the article, that is article 333. Okay, but now it is no more here. Now then question was in Maharashtra PSC 2014, which of the following statement is or are correct? The power of pocket veto that the governor wields is to negate a bill of government. Okay, pocket veto. Governor has power to use pocket veto under Article 156. Okay, so students, see, pocket veto is a veto. It is to forbid a bill. Let's suppose what you see. Let's suppose a bill is passed by the state legislature, reached to the president, basically governor of a state. Now there is a condition: he must pass the bill, or he may send for the reconsideration, or he can reserve a bill for the president's reconsideration. So if he is going to do, now it is power of the president. If he want to give assent to that, then he or she will do, means give, otherwise they can reserve the same thing. Okay, so what you see, this is not here. As well as governor power to use pocket veto, it is not under Article 156. It is assent to the bill. Okay, so what you see, students, under Article 200, so neither 1 nor 2 will be followed for this question. So see, the pocket veto of the government refer to the power to not take any action on the bill, that he neither ratify nor reject nor return the bill. He simply keep the bill pending for indefinite period of time. He can do so because the constitution does not mandate any time to limit the governor to take action on a bill. The pocket veto is not explicitly mentioned in our Indian Constitution article, so it is going to be incorrect, students. Getting it? Now see the question number 49. A governor of a state may act independently from the consultation of legislative assembly. From the consultation of legislative assembly when? The government has to prove its majority in the session of legislative assembly. Okay, means let's suppose any government is there. So if they want to prove, at that time president is independent, governor is independent to take any action. If they will prove majority, then he or she is going to appoint, otherwise they are going to leave. So this is correct. Now to terminate the chief minister, if he don't have majority, he can terminate anyone. To reserve any bill for the consideration of president, yes, under Article 200 is also mentioned. He can send back a bill to the legislative assembly for the reconsideration. To seek the consultation of High Court. High Court consultation is not needed for the legislative action. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 is going to be correct. So option A will be correct for the same, students. I hope you all getting it. Okay, so see, the same thing is included here. Now see the question number 50, UPPCS 2017. The governor does not have the power to appoint the judge of a state high court. Governor does not have power to appoint the judge of a state high court. So we all know the judge of a state high court appointed by the President of India. So yes, this statement is correct. He is not part of the legislature. We all know governor will be the part of legislature, legislative assembly, legislative council, if somewhere it is, and governor, they all combinedly creating law. So this is a part of legislature. Okay, this is also correct. And he has power to nominate some member in the legislative council. Yes, 1/6 member of the legislative council is appointed by the governor. He has no judicial power. This is incorrect. Okay, so now students, what is going to be a right answer for the same? So what you see, students, he is not a part of legislature. Yes, he is a part of legislature, so automatically this statement 2 is incorrect. So statement 1 and statement 3 is correct. So option B will be right for the same. Okay, everyone. So explanation, it contains the same thing what I told you. Now we have question number 51. This is the last question of this topic, and this will be your homework. Just give your answer in the comment box. We will meet soon, students, tomorrow, and we will continue the same classes where we are leaving it. Okay, everyone. So thank you so much for joining. But before that, as I told you, this book is available for the other subject also in both Hindi as well as English format, and it is one of the most fine and refined book that is available in the market. Okay, so you must go with the book for the better understanding, better score. Thank you so much for joining and listening.